Government's just a big business. That's really what it is. As you mentioned, I did have a grandfather that was two-term governor at the turn of the century. Now, let me simply tell you that I was apolitical for many, many years. I really was not politically involved. I was 57 years old before I got any interest in running for office. I ran for office for the state senate because my state senator wouldn't return my phone calls. So that if you're in the Senate and you don't return people's calls, or if you're governor and you don't return people's calls, it may be a good way to get someone to run against you. But that's how basically I got involved. I was in the construction business, had been in the farming business, had been a farm bureau president, and went from farming into construction. Had a heavy construction company working about 300 people. And there were a lot of things the government was doing, not the least of which was some of the legal ramifications of the way things were done in this state that I didn't like, and that some of it was being addressed at the state level. And I wanted to talk to my senator, and he wouldn't answer my phone calls. And so that's the story of how I got into politics at 57. Well, first off, you pick somebody that knows the subject matter. You don't put somebody running transportation that's never had any experience with road building. You put somebody into the Department of Health and Hospitals that knows a lot about it. That's sort of where I found Bobby Gentle. He'd been involved in at the federal level in some policy for the Congress, and so you try to find people with that experience, and that's very difficult to do quick. One of them, the guy that ran the department that really is the business end of it, was Mark Drennan, who had spent his time criticizing government. And I called him, I said, Mark, why don't you come run the Division of Administration? This will give you a chance to fix some of the things you've complained about for years. And he took the challenge, and it was tough for him, to do that. He did a very good job. Without Mark, we'd have never built all those buildings in downtown Baton Rouge. I wanted to do it. He figured out how to do it. You'd have to go back and check with some of the press, but I think I was available. I wasn't hard to get to. Well, actually, how many governors have had a radio program where they got on the air once a week and took any questions? We took any question. We didn't screen our deals. And then I got criticized because they said, a lot of times you say you don't know. Well, I said, you can't have the answer. I said, I can answer them next week. But I'm probably the only governor on record that I know of that sat down, turned it on, said, call in, I'll answer questions. Probably just what I did before, identified things that needed doing. I'll give you two examples. One example was we were remediating 30% of our students at LSU. And I said, we're going to quit that. I said, you can't do that. You can't have an entrance exam. It's not politically possible. I said, we're going to do it. So just pick what you want to do and just take the heat. Actually, nobody really complained, and we quit remediating students. And I said, somebody said, well, where are they going to go? I said, the community colleges. They said, we don't have any. And I said, well, we will. We'll fix that. So we set up the community college board. We made them equal to the other boards. And the community college system is a fantastic system. Any young person that wants to get a job, if they'll go to a community college and spend a couple of years, they'll get a good paying job. So my take on things was, I had a saying, and I gave this to all my staff. I said, when you have a decision to make, don't do the political thing. Don't see what the politics says you ought to do. You see what's good for Louisiana and do it. And you'll seldom get in trouble for it. I told my department heads that, and most of them did it. I did fire one that told me that I couldn't finish Highway 90. And of course, then we did find a way to finish Highway 90. Make your decisions based on what you think is good for the state. Tell your department heads, make their decisions on what they think is good for the state of Louisiana. Do not make political decisions. Don't make decisions based on what politically seems to be the way things are blowing. That's the biggest mistake you can make. And that way you'll do the right thing, and at least as well as you know it, and so will your staff. You won't have any regrets. You don't have any regrets when you did it that way.